Yep. Ugh. Ding, ding, let's go. To play your Spart. To be a sort of Spartan for your own life. But as I like to play with words, Spart, similar to sport. This life is a game. To the SP, to spand while you're sprucing on the heart and soul level. Yes, I talk a lot about that because that is, in my opinion, observation, experience, starting from the heart and soul level and expanding outwards. That's where it starts. That's where it ends. That's how life just gets better. You gotta play your Spart. You, the individual, you are your only job. And there are a lot of predicaments in this life. And of course, to try to tackle all of them at the same time or in multiple scales, at the world level, at the societal level, at the governmental level, all these levels needing to be dealt with, it can become overwhelming to an extent. So it's one piece at a time, one part at a time. And if we start at the individual level, and then even deeper at the heart and soul level, if we start at the core, if we start at the roots, at the trunk of our tree of existence, as we're giving out fruit, everything that we're doing is producing something that is being given into the world. And I don't need to explain more and more about the hows and the whys, even though that's pretty much what this channel is all about. You can check out my other videos for things like that. But this particular video is meant to discuss and display and emote and evoke and to prove, essentially, the importance of playing your Spart. Because this really is a team sport. This life, living this life, doing this life, being an inevitable part of this life. We're playing it, we're living it. What are you doing? Right? Not to throw shade or shame or anything like that, but to reflect. It's so important to reflect what we're doing, what we're being, what we're giving out there, from the subtleties of body language, the words that we're saying, and then further outward to the actions that we're doing, what we're contributing to society or lack thereof. These are very important things to reflect on. And I watched a video, I'll give a shout out once I commit to memory this guy's name or channel name, but just talking about really just how to do life and in bits and pieces slowly over time to leave a legacy that actually makes the world better. We can all contribute. We can all participate in this life. You are playing your part. You are playing your Spart. It is an active battle of sorts, a war of sorts. Are you on the front lines in a respect, in a sense? Are you the medic? Are you the sniper? Are you the psychologist, the doctor, the builder, the aviator? Are you in the skies? Are you in the water? Are you on the ground? Right? Literally and symbolically. What is your part? This is a very important thing to reflect on. Where are your natural skills, and how are you expanding upon that? So for me specifically, I'm very in line, very involved, very aligned with this concept of psychology with a bit of spirituality, but it's really the mental, emotional side of us regulating and balancing and peacemaking and sense-making, and us working with that so that everything that we do, once we're working with that more and more, everything that we're doing just becomes better, more succinct, more proficient, more efficient. So that's my skill set, my expertise that I'm expanding and that I'm giving to you, the individual, and to the people, obviously. I want this to reach the masses. I want this to ideally reach everyone, where there's so much to be said about things like mental, emotional regulation. Things like empathy, compassion, patience. And I put in almost 13,000 hours into working with children, working with young humans. And it's such an ongoing and expansive blessing, because I'm seeing children for what they are, young humans, young people. And they are teaching me, they're showing me, they're reminding me of who we are. Even though we're adults, we came from somewhere. We were all children once. And they show me and remind me the more playful, the more creative, the more resilient, the more loving, the more heart-based aspects that we as humans, we have, but we've essentially forgotten and or made them lower in the priority list. And I'm not going to say, we've strayed so far away and that's a problem and yada yada. I'm not going to say all that, but what I am saying is we have this within us, and we would do wonders for ourselves at the heart and soul level and expanding beyond. It would be so much of a service if we make it higher on the priorities list. We become better, more wholesome, more heart-based, creative, resilient, playful, joyous, rejuvenous people, and help the world from that basis. So I'm playing my part in that regard. And, as I love making words, playing your spart. What is the spart? It's your spark, your spirit, your expansiveness. You have that. We all have that. So to play your spart is to rekindle your spark, your fire, your spirit, your expansiveness from the core, from the heart and soul level. I don't want to keep talking in circles, but it's important. And I feel blessed to create this content to spark that within you. It's like holding the candle that is lit, and to see your candle, whether it's barely lit, because, in all honesty, like, us being alive means that we're lit up to a certain extent. So let's just say we are a collection of candles, a bundle, and for me to have like all of these candles lit, and to see that you have some candles lit, and for me to carry it forth and to light those certain candles that are not lit, I feel very blessed and honored to be in a position where I can do that. To be in a position where I see all of my candles lit, and to see other people's candles not lit. Let's just say I have a bundle of whatever, 50 candles, tiny candles, so that I can hold them in two hands, and to see that other people have, let's just say, 10 to 25 or so candles lit, and I just want to give, I just want to love, I just want to care. I want to provide this wisdom, this insight, this whimsy, this rejuvenative beingness, and to light some of your candles. I want to play my part so that you can better and better play your part. And just a quick note on just what I see in my beingness and with children, and then seeing other adults, where it's the first thing that came to my mind, where it's a, SHIT show. It's a crapshoot where it's just like, the liveliness needs to come back. It needs to come back full force. I want to see more flames, more fuego, more gusto. I want to see more of that in you, in us. Like, full stop. I want to see us energized and just so ready and gustatory and heart-based, just blasting, just so good to go, so ready to make things better, so that we can make things better, so that we can, in broad terms, save the world from the heart and soul level and beyond. I want to see us saving the world, and a lot of you adults, a lot of you guys out there don't have many candles lit, and it's a darn shame, and it's sad to see. And I'm playing my part, and I want to help, and I want to give, and I want to care. So that's why I'm making this content, and I want us to form a community where we're giving these candle lightings, these sparks, these rejuvenations to each other, so that we can tackle the world with more energy, more gusto, more willingness, more ability to face inevitable challenges, just to see it as the game, like the sport of life, to be a team, to know what your role is: offense, defense, goalie, safety, right? Linebacker, quarterback, dunker, three-pointer, long shot, short shot, coach, coordinator, right? Are we more of a leader, or are we more of a person on the front lines, right? Things like that. Discovering more and more of our natural innate strengths, where it's like, yeah, we've all had childhood trauma. We may be experiencing acute traumas like in our adult life, and in one sense it's a shame and it's unfortunate, but in another sense, where there are other candles that are not lit, if there are certain other candles that are just naturally lit and good to go, and you feel like you have a vantage point, right? Boom, vantage point, What are your vantage points? Where do you have larger candles that are lit more fervently, more furiously? You have those vantage points, and you're able to help others where their candles are either smaller or not lit at all. Play your part, right? As I like to end videos with respects, much respect to you, much respect to us, much respect to our increasing expansive willingness and ability to face the inevitable challenges of life, to become better and better at it, so we reach higher and higher standards, higher and higher standards is a good way to describe it, where you could do more and more work or more and more intensity, and then the next week you realize, like, oh, I'm facing increased intensity, or the same intensity as last week, but I have more gas in the tank, I have more gusto in the tank than last week, because I'm expanding myself. So I'm more and more ready and able to face these challenges because I survived them, and I realized that I can do more. So much respect to you and to us for those expansive willingnesses and abilities to work with these challenges. And much respect to the Creator, call it whatever you will, God, the universe. Much respect to the earth, all these gifts that were given on earth, the fire, air, earth, water, the food, the shelter, just the modern amenities, all these things. Much respect to our layers, the mind, the emotions, the body, the heart and soul. These are ongoing gifts. Much respect. This is Mr. Mike. Catch you later.